Hey, magando umaga, kamusta? This is Scott, expat in the Philippines, live in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Well, this is my four-wheel drive. You've seen it before. We were talking about other things on it. Today I'm talking about when you go away, and make sure when you buy and purchasing a four-wheel drive that you check your under chassis, check your tail shaft, make sure that it's had no hard dents, uh, your suspension rails are all good, or your steering and rack and pinion is all okay. Have a good look underneath it. Don't be frightened, get underneath and look at it before you purchase your four-wheel drive. I did. That's the first thing I did before I purchased my little Mitsubishi Challenger from Mentone Ford. And they're a great bunch of guys up there to do business with. Also, check your battery terminals. Make sure they haven't got any corrosion. Check your oil and oils, your transmission, your brake your brake fluid, your engine oil. Make sure everything is okay. Make sure you've got no leaks anywhere, because these can be looked at by your mechanic. Make sure your timing chain, your belts are all not worn. Have them checked out first. Listen to the engine. Make sure that the tappets are okay. Check it all out. Make sure your brake cylinder's got lots of oil and it's not leaking from underneath the housing there. Make sure you've got plenty of water in your radiator and in your wiper bottle. You need to keep an eye. Make sure your lights are working. Headlights, high beam, low beam, parkers, indicators, make sure they're working. Also, your driving lights at the top and at the bottom with your fog lights, make sure they're all in working order. Check your stone tray. Make sure that that hasn't got any hard dents when you're purchasing your four-wheel drive. That's that thing right underneath there. That's your stone tray. This can also have little driving lights put where the black housings are there. Extra if you want, but I don't think this needs it. Make sure you have got good tyres on your car when you purchase it, because that's good to know that you don't have to purchase new tyres like I did with these General Grabbers from Tyre Power. Good blokes there too. See, you're right, they do all different tyres, from General Grabber to Coopers to Bridgestone to Teo tyres. They do all sorts of tyres. Make sure your CB is in good working order, because you might need that on your journey. Turn it on and have it low so you can hear your radio, and also hear that as well when you're travelling on a long journey, whether it be with yourself or whether it be with your family, so you can hear the truckies. Also, you can give the truckies your location. If you have broken down, they will pass it on to someone else. They will help you. Also, make sure that you are clear of truck drivers, and when overtaking, and make sure all your fixtures, like your phone, is tight and sturdy and not moving around too much. Make sure your tom-tom is in good working order on a long trip. Check your baby seats. Maybe it's come loose a bit. Make sure that everything is a-okay before driving on that long trip. Make sure your baby straps are okay. Make sure everything is in good working order. So just basically check everything. Also your undercarriage, as I said. Make sure that everything is in good working order for that trip down the highway when you're going away on vacation. Make sure your brake lights are working, indicators, parkers and your reverse light. If you're towing a trailer, make sure your trailer point is working. Make sure you have your tow bar secure. Also make sure that if you're going four-wheel driving, you make sure your winch is in good working order, as well as you have your gloves, straps and your pulley there, because you will need it when you're out there if you get stuck. Make sure, as I said, make sure your winch is in good working order. Make sure your toolbox has got all the necessary tools. Make sure you've got plenty of coolant, which reminds me I must buy a new bottle before going out again. I had a good trip up to Colac, no problems. Make sure your spare tyre has got plenty of tread. So, these are all good facts and figures. Also good to know when you're purchasing your four-wheel drive. Make sure you go to a reputable four-wheel drive place like Ford, Holden or Toyota, wherever it may be. Make sure that they check everything. Write down a list what you need to know, what you need to have on your car. Make sure your wheel nuts are tight. Make sure everything is in good working order. Make sure they don't use a rattle gun on your wheel nuts, that you use a wheel brace. Make sure they put it on with a wheel brace, because there's nothing worse than when you get out in the middle of nowhere and you can't get those wheel nuts off. I've had a couple of points where I made sure that when my car is being serviced, that all my wheel nuts are loose, and I'll tighten them up with a wheel brace. These are important facts that you need to know when you look or buy or purchase a four-wheel drive. So, I hope it helps you. I hope that you have a good and safe journey. I hope you enjoy your new four-wheel drive. This has been Scott, expat in the Philippines, live in Melbourne. Have a nice day, guys.